Today we begin the Hebrew month of Nisan. It's the month in which the holiday of Passover, Pesach, occurs. The Hebrew word Nisan contains twice the letter Nun. This letter is the first letter of the word Nes, which is Hebrew for miracle. The rabbis tell us the reason why there are twice in this word the letter Nun, because miracles upon miracles occur. Certainly they did when the Jews left Egypt, and so much so that the rabbis tell us that just like the original redemption happened in this month, it certainly makes sense that the ultimate redemption would happen in this month too, because this month is simply a month that is open to the opportunity for miracles to happen. Now I want to talk about miracles for a moment, because usually we think of miracles as the suspension of nature. The Baal Shem Tov, the founder of the Hasidic movement, said, though, that you have to realize that that's not entirely true. The difference between a miracle and a natural event is simply the frequency in which it occurs. If something happens for the first time and has never been seen, we say, wow, a miracle. But something that happens constantly, we call it nature. And this is an important lesson for us, because how many things in our life happen so often that we take it for granted? Do we wonder, or do we thank God for every breath that we take? And yet we should, because taking breath for granted is something that we shouldn't do. At the end of the book of Psalms, King David says, Kol haneshama tahalaka hallelujah, that every soul praises God on every breath that we take. That we should be praising God, because every time we're able to breathe, that itself is a miracle, and we shouldn't consider it natural just because it happens every single second. Now the truth is that this is important for us to know, because it is the key to understanding how we ourselves can become miracle workers. You see, most people look at others and say, do you think Yankel would ever do such and such a thing? And they would say, no. Giving tzedakah, giving charity, he's a miser. It would never happen. Can you imagine if there was a public appeal all of a sudden and Yankel would raise his hand and say, I give $20,000? People in the synagogue might say, hey, what a miracle, what a miracle. What would happen if Yankel would give it a little bit more often? They wouldn't consider it a miracle. This would become the nature of Yankel, that he likes to give charity. So what we can learn is that we can perform a miracle. If there is something that we have never done, or we would not really expect ourselves to even entertain such an idea, even though deep down we know that it's probably the right thing to do. If you do it, that would be a miracle. Every time you introduce something new into your life, that you, or maybe those that are close to you, would seem somewhat shocked or surprised that you did it, then you are actually performing a miracle. If your days seem quite regular, and you think you're as busy as you can be, and don't have time for anything else, but all of a sudden you find 15-20 minutes to learn, you say, wow, look at me. I thought it was impossible, but I did find time and did what was impossible. I performed a miracle. So in this month of Nisan, that we celebrate our national redemption and rebirth of a Jewish nation, find the time to do your own miracle, whether it's with yourself or your influence with others, to have something accomplished that hasn't been done ever before. And if it's done once, you can truly call it a miracle. So go and become the miracle workers that you know you can be.